Hi friends, glad you're back for our next book study. How are you, Iris?
Muy bien, ¿y tú, Michelle?
I'm great. Listen, I brought a story today called Thank You, Amu by Oge Mora.
Gracias, Amu.
Yes, have you read it before?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, let's see what it's about.
Okay.
Here we go, friends. Thank you, Amu. Do you know what Amu means?
¿Qué quiere decir?
I think it means queen.
Reina.
Yeah, that's a great name, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I love the illustrations in this one.
Están muy bonitas.
Very beautiful. On the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Amu was cooking a thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal.
Ella estaba cocinando un guiso espeso y rojo.
She seasoned and stirred it and took a small taste.
¿Cómo sabe? How does it taste?
She said, "What a delicious stew!
Delicioso.
Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I've ever had."
En la mejor cena.
I like stew too. Do you, Iris?
A mí me encanta.
With that, Amu put down the spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until...
¿Quién era? Who was it?
I don't know. Bet they smelled her stew.
El olor volaba mucho. The smell went very far.
It did. Someone was at the door. When Amu opened it, she saw...
¿Quién? Who?
a little boy.
Un niño.
"Little boy," Amu exclaimed, "what brings you to my home?"
Ella preguntó por qué estaba en su casa.
"I was playing with my race car down the hill when I smelled the most delicious smell," the little boy replied. "What is it?"
Él olía el olor de su guiso. He smelled the smell of her stew.
That's right, she tells him. "Thick red stew." Stew, he sighed. That sure sounds yummy.
El niño le gusta.
Yes, he does like it. He made the same sound you did, Iris. Amu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It would not hurt to share. Would you like some?
Le ofreció. She offered him some.
She did. The little boy nodded, and so Amu spooned out some thick red stew from her fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," said the little boy, and went on his way.
El niño comió su guiso y después se fue. He ate some stew and left.
With that, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. As she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window, out the door, down the hill towards the street, and around the block until...
¿Alguien más va a venir? Is somebody else coming?
Someone was at the door. When Amu opened the door, this time she saw...
¿Quién?
Let's see. A police officer.
Un policía.
"Miss Police Officer," Amu exclaimed, "what brings you to my home?"
Le preguntó por qué la policía estaba en su casa.
What do you think it is, Iris?
El olor de su guiso.
I think so too. "I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell," Miss Police Officer replied. "What is it?"
Es el guiso.
"It's the thick red stew." "Ah, stew," she said, and her mouth watered. "That sounds mighty tasty." Amu thought for a moment. There was still enough to share. "Would you like some?" The police officer nodded. Once again, Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," said the officer, and went on her way.
Le compartió con la policía también.
She had some too, right? Amu is so nice to share her meal.
Sí, comparte con todos. She shares with everyone.
She does. And so for the second time, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window, out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block until...
¿Alguien más?
Again, someone was at Amu's door. This time when she opened it, she saw... Who do you think it is?
No sé.
A hot dog vendor.
Un vendedor de hot dogs.
He sells the hot dogs. Wonder what he wants. Mr. Hot Dog Vendor? Amu exclaimed. What brings you to my home?
Sí, ¿por qué está allí?
I was selling my hot dogs down the block and I smelled the most delicious smell. Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replied. What is it? What is it, Iris?
Es el guiso rojo y espeso.
Oh, stew. The vendor licked his lips. It sounds quite delectable.
Es muy rico.
Yeah, what do you think delectable means?
Que sabe bien. That it tastes good.
Yes. So Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. Thank you, Amu, the hot dog vendor said, and he went on his way.
Todos comieron y le dieron las gracias. They ate and said thanks and left.
Yeah, she's given out a lot of stew. Throughout the day, people from all across the neighborhood knocked on Amu's door.
Más gente? More people?
Yes, she fed a shop owner,
Un dueño de tienda?
a cab driver,
Un taxista?
a doctor,
Un doctor?
an actor,
Un actor?
a lawyer,
Un abogado?
a dancer,
Un bailarín?
a baker,
Un panadero?
an artist,
Un artista?
a singer,
Un cantante?
an athlete,
Un atleta?
a bus driver,
Un conductor de autobús?
a construction worker.
Un obrero de construcción?
Even the mayor stopped by.
Y el alcalde? Esos son muchas personas.
It's a lot. And each time they knocked, Iris, Amu shared.
¡Wow! Compartió toda su sopa, su guiso.
She had like a dinner party. Soon the sky darkened,
Era noche.
the streetlights brightened, and it was time for dinner. But when Amu opened the big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, Iris,
No hay nada.
it was empty.
Uh-oh.
Now what should she do?
No sé.
All right, let's see what she does, Iris. She's all out of food.
No tiene nada.
Amu sniffled. There goes the best dinner I ever had.
Oh, no.
Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with the empty pot until
Alguien más está en la casa.
she doesn't have any more food. What do you think she'll do?
No sé.
Who could that be, Amu wondered. When she opened the door,
¿Quién era?
she saw the little boy,
El niño.
the police officer,
La policía.
the hot dog vendor,
El vendedor de hot dogs.
the shop owner,
El dueño de la tienda.
the cab driver,
El taxista.
the doctor,
El doctor.
the actor,
El actor.
the lawyer,
El abogado.
the dancer,
El bailarín.
the baker.
El panadero.
Why, everyone she fed today was at her door.
Todos estaban ahí.
I'm sorry, everyone, Amu sighed. My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share. The little boy tugged at Amu's sleeve. Don't worry, Amu. We're not here to ask. We are here to give.
Ellos van a compartir. They're going to share.
Yes, I think so. The police officer carried in a fresh salad.
Una ensalada.
The mayor entered with a roast chicken.
Un pollo rostizado.
The baker brought a collection of sweet goodies.
Uy, a mí me encantan.
Even the little boy presented Amu with something special in a shiny red envelope.
Qué bueno.
Everyone who had knocked on Amu's door that day squeezed inside her tiny apartment, and together they ate, danced, and celebrated.
Todos llegaron para compartir con ella.
Yeah.
They came to spend time with her.
They did. While Amu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty, her heart was full of happiness and love.
Se llenó su corazón. Her heart was full.
It was. It seems that she gave, and they brought her something.
Qué bueno.
That dinner was the best she ever had.
Era lo mejor que había tenido.
And you know what? She opened the envelope from the little boy, and it said, "Thank you, Amu."
Gracias, Amu.
What a sweet story.
Muy lindo.
All right, friends, we're glad you were here with us today. Iris, thank you so much for your help.
Oh, gracias a ti, Michelle.
We hope to see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.